Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If we aren't into one another, my name is Jamie, and as you can see, we have the newly designed MacBook Air. Not only is it newly designed, but it has the new M2 Apple silicone chip. It comes in two new stunning finishes, such as Starlight and Midnight. As you can see, we have the Starlight here. And in all transparency, I really do love my M1 Max MacBook Pro 14-inch, and I'm unboxing this in my partner's behalf. Can you believe that some people don't get enjoyment out of unboxing Apple products? Ugh. Anyway, he's currently using a 2017 MacBook Pro. It was my hand-me-down version. For some reason, he likes those butterfly switches and touchpad, but I finally convinced him or forced him to update. Oh, and not only that, this is gonna be my first video editing with iJustine's, aka the Queen's, new motion VFX pack titled Keynote. So if you want to get motion graphics like this one, maybe this one, or even this one, be sure to check out my affiliate link down below in the description, or you can browse their large selection of other motion graphics if you've already picked up Keynote. Okay, let's get started. And the most obvious place to start off at is with the box. Apple always nails it with their boxes and their unpackaging experience, and this is not to disappoint, I am sure. As you can see, it does come with plastic. You do get a little pull tab right here, so that's going to be exciting once we do tear that off. The front of the box, typically for the MacBook Pros, you get to see the display, but for the MacBook Airs, they really love to show off how thin it is. I mean, look at that. It looks razor thin. I wonder if it's true to size. We're gonna find out. So along with the all-new Starlight and Midnight finishes, you still get the classic silver and space gray. All right, now let's give it the shimmy test. Ooh, it passed. All right, well that looks nice. Ooh. Wow, it feels so light, and it really does feel like sturdy. So yeah, that's very interesting. Let's set that off to the side. And of course, you do get the matching MagSafe cable. We'll set that off to the side as well. Where are my stickers? Oh, there they are. And the Starlight Apple color logo. Nice. Let's tuck these away off to the collection of Apple stickers that I have. And interestingly enough, depending on the model that you do choose, there are 3 power brick options. This one here is the all-new 35-watt dual charger. By dual, you get 2 USB-C ports to charge. There's still the 30-watt single USB-C charger, as well as the 65-watt option. Now, personally, I would go with the 65-watt option so that you get that fast charging. There are additional fees depending on which model you choose, so be mindful of that. But the reason why I wouldn't really go for this one, even though I do think it's a cool concept and makes a nice accessory, is that I would want my machine, my computer, my MacBook to get most of the charge. So even though you are able to charge 2 different things, they're not going to both be getting 35 watts of power. So that's something to be mindful of. Your MacBook will charge at a slower pace. Now, again, nothing against this brick here. I do think it's a cool accessory to have. Made with the new iPhone so that you can charge your Apple Watch as well as your iPhone. But as far as the computer, I want my computer to get all of the charge. But that is just my opinion. Setting that off to the side as well. So as we've been seeing from Apple products, you do no longer get plastic around your device. It's this waxy paper that I'm sure has been recycled and is recyclable. Thank you, Apple, for being so responsible. I really do make these messes. Oh my, this is a nice color. At first I was like, are you sure about that Starlight? This is so nice. Oh, it's so pretty and it's so thin. Goodness, it is nice. And I've heard about the midnight smudges. No smudges, no, it's good job, Apple, with the Starlight, and good job to my partner for picking it, because it's a very nice and unique color. Now, personally, I was not a fan of the Starlight color. When I unboxed the iPad mini, not really my thing. Much prefer just the boring, I guess, silver and space gray options. Let's open this guy up. Ooh, does not pass the one finger open. It's so light that my finger moves it. Tissue. Oh, I could do that all day. Now, taking a look at the housing, it does look and feel like a smushed down version of the MacBook Pro 14-inch, which is kind of nice. Again, it does feel light, but it does feel heavy and sturdy at the same time. It's really hard to describe. It's just the weight, I guess, is distributed evenly. So that's pretty cool there. And if we do take a look along the side, it does have 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, as well as the MagSafe port. That's kind of cool because you do have that extra bonus of the extra port, since you do have the MagSafe to charge. But in all honesty, in the 8 months, how long has it been? I think it's been about 8 months since I've had the MacBook Pro 14-inch. I have yet to use the MagSafe charger. So if you like that sort of thing, it's cool, it's there. I know my partner does, he's kind of old school with that sort of thing, so I could totally see him charging via Thunderbolt. The only thing I wish they had done is move one of these Thunderbolt ports to the other side. Personally, I like to just charge with USB-C, and it's just having the convenience of having a port on each side is kind of nice. I definitely enjoy that on my MacBook Pro, and even my old Intel, which had 2 and 2. That was always nice as well. And of course you have the headphone jack. There is no MacBook Air logo. That's something I expected since it does come on the MacBook Pro 14-inch and 16-inch. And what's really cool is they're able to house all of this tech in this small, lightweight body, which is only 2.7 pounds, at a starting price of $12.99. And that's for the base model. So for the base model, you'll get 8 gigabytes of unified memory, 8 cores of GPU, and 256 gigabytes of SSD storage. Now this one here is a little different. It has 10 cores of GPU. It does still only have the 8 cores of unified memory. We did bump up these SSD storage to 512 gigabytes. And if you're watching this right now, it is back to school season, so Apple has amazing deals and discounts, both on their Macs and iPads and those sorts of things, but as well as even if you spec up some of the storage options or the unified memory options, those are discounted for you as well, and a $150 gift card for you to respend at the Apple Store. And I should also mention that it does come in a 16 gigabyte memory option, as well as 24, and the 24 option is brand new. And then as far as SSD storage, it goes all the way up to 2 terabytes, which is a pretty good amount, but it'll cost you nearly as much as another MacBook. Now, if you are a student or just a casual user, I really do think 8 gigabytes of unified memory will be enough. I experienced it with the M1, it was great, and this being the M2, I just expect it to be even more efficient. The only thing that I would upgrade, however, and probably always recommend an upgrading, is the internal storage. Maybe not up to the 2 terabytes, but a nice and comfortable 512 gigabytes. I think that's great for saving Word docs, pictures, definitely nothing super large, but typically everything you just keep in the cloud. And don't feel like you'll be limited if you do end up picking this up to use for creative work and development work. I think it's a great machine. I do a little bit of both. I do coding and obviously I do this creative stuff here as well. And my MacBook M1, before my M1 Max MacBook Pro, was absolutely great and it held up just fine. Now, as far as the keyboard and the trackpad, you're gonna get a very similar experience to what's out there now with the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros. Great keys, you have the Touch ID, function row, and the trackpad, which I think is absolutely way better than anything you'll find in PC land. And then the screen. So the screen is obviously a little larger, 3.6 inches versus just 13 inches. And of course, the way they were able to do that was by slimming down those bezels, including the notch. But in that notch, you do have an upgraded webcam that now houses 1080p webcam, which is pretty decent quality, so that's nice there. The screen brightness goes up to 500 nits. Now, that is a 25% improvement, but looking at it here, even at max brightness, it does not compare to the MacBook Pro. I really like a bright screen, but again, this is not for me. So this is my partner. He does not like a bright screen. I always have to turn it up when he passes me his phone or his computer. So I think 500 nits is going to be great. And it'll be even better if you do decide to use your computer and outside settings for that extra brightness. Now, this M2 chip has a 15% improvement over the Intel-based MacBook, and I certainly believe it. And there's a 1.5% performance gain over the M1, which is a pretty respectable performance gain considering it's been 2 years. Can't expect it to be drastic all of the time. I think that's more realistic. And it does have 18 hours of battery life. I also believe that, and I really wish my 14-inch MacBook even came close to it. I would say Mine is about 14, 12-ish hours, and that's just on light use. Now, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this yet, but again, it is a completely fanless design, so it's gonna stay completely silent, which is nice. As far as heat, I don't know how warm it's gonna get. I do know that my M1 Max 14-inch MacBook Pro, that's a mouthful, but anyway, that does get relatively warm. I would not say Intel warm, because Intel is more like of a hot. So I am curious how these fanless MacBooks do perform under heavier loads. I do plan on holding it hostage for about a week or so if you do have any requests, comparison videos on this, and the 14-inch, or maybe this and an M1 iMac, leave them down in the comment section. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe on your way out if you haven't already, and until next time, see ya.